And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Joe at Jono Cigars, and I am very happy to be sitting down with yet another cigar blender here in today's cigar world. We have from Casa 1910, Manolo Santiago. He joined us during this live stream. I'll bring him on. Manolo, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us here at the Jono Cigar channel. How are you today, sir?
Hey, Jose, thank you for having me today. I'm very glad to your invitation for your channel and your interview. Thank you.
Well, very happy to have you tonight. This evening, I'm smoking the San Patrina. It's a 5x50 Robusto, courtesy of Casa 1910 Cigars. Uh, I just lit it up literally a few seconds ago. It's off to a very good start, and I'm very interested to see how it goes. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Casa 1910. I think a lot of people aren't as familiar with Casa 1910 as perhaps a lot of the other brands on the market today. Tell us a little bit about Casa 1910, what it's kind of uh, what sets it apart from other brands on the market right now.
Well, thank you for that. Well, uh, Casa 1910 is a really young brand, cigar brand, because we released the brand for at PCA 2021. Mm, Actually, it's very curious because we showed the brand with just one cigar in our catalog, the Cuchillo Parado. It's our flagship cigar, the Robusto 5x50 medium strength cigar, all Mexican tobaccos inside. And it's very great for us because for 2021, for today 2023, we have right now eight different cigars in three different lines in several tobacco shops in states and other countries in Europe and Mexico, of course. It's We're very excited because it's a young brand. The 1910, it's because the year of the Mexican Revolution began. It's 1910. Actually, it's the 1910, and the casa, the name of casa, it's house in Spanish. We take the first name about casa because in the old days, in the revolution, the Mexican Revolution times, the old business, the local business in Mexico and the little towns, it's called casa, house, plus the last name of the owner. Okay. For
Right.
example, if you have a little business, maybe you made hats or maybe custom letters, jackets, or other stuff. You can put in your name, in your business name, Casa Santiago, for example, Casa
Sure.
Hernandez, Casa Jonose. I don't know. It's
Right.
because we take it the Casa plus the 1910, the year of the Mexican Revolution. And for us, it's very important to explain for all cigar aficionados and for all people about the Mexican Revolution, about the Mexican heritage, and about all about Mexico, not just the yellow filter in the movies, not
Right.
just the cactus and the big hat. No, it's not
Right.
Mexico. Mexico, it's much more. It's a big industry, big tobacco producers, a big spirit producers, and a big luxury brands producers. And it's because we need to make a good Mexican brand about cigars and about the lifestyle of cigars, of course.
Yeah. So you just got done finishing TPE last month. How was that show for you? Did you have any good takeaways from that show?
Well, uh, it's very great because every time or every opportunity what we have to show our brand, to show our history, to show our cigars. it's very important for us. It's very excited for us. And this time in TPE, it's more important for us because we release and we show the new line for Casa 1910 cigars, the Soldadera edition. You smoke the new cigar of 1910, the Soldadera edition. And it's very important time because in every show we need to expose. And actually, in the States, we have two times to expose 1910, the TPE and the PCA. And this in this time of the TPE, we release a new line made in other country, made with new tobaccos for us, with our tobaccos or Mexican tobaccos. And for me, it's very important to put light the cigar with the customers, with the tobacco shop owners, and I need to see the face. I need to see.
Right.
I need to see um the faces, the sensations,
You want to see their
the
reaction in person.
reaction for the cigar, because when I looking for the truth, I need to see the eyes, I need to see the face for the customer, and it's very funny. It's very funny, and it's interesting for me to see that kind
Sure.
of reaction.
So, how long have you? I know Casa 1910 is relatively young as a company. What's sort of your background in the cigar business prior to Casa 1910 starting?
Well, for my side, um, I'm a liar, but I take the option for be happy and to share the happiness for all people.
Right.
And it's because when I study in the university, I'm from Guadalajara, Jalisco, the land of tequila and the mariachi, of course. Mm, and when I study law, I'm work in the weekends in the bar, behind the bar,
Sure.
making cocktails. The first time waiter, and the second time um, the bartender. And I falling in love about the spirits, about the cocktails, and I take a lot of certificates, a lot of courses about the spirits, about the cocktail, flavor bartending, and other kind of knowledge. And when I take a special course about the wine sommelier in La Rioja, Spain, I take my first cigar and I fall in love about the tobacco. I'm a cigar aficionado. I'm a whiskey aficionado. I'm a tequila aficionado, and I love the knowledge about all topics like that. Okay, and for my side, I need to go in to the roots for the authentic knowledge. If I take more knowledge about the tequila, I need to go to Arandas, to Tequila Jalisco, to other towns when producing tequila, to to make a lot of questions for the farmers, for the maestros, tequileros, the master distillers from tequila. And it's the same. Is the same time about the tobacco. When I fall in love, when I looking for more knowledge about the tobacco, I'm going to Cuba, I'm going to Nicaragua, I'm going to Veracruz, Mexico, of course. And my love is increased about the tobacco, not just the smoke, about the
Right.
growing steps, the curing, the seeds, the soil, the fermentation, the aging process, the rolling process, the after rolling process, about the resting, and the blending process. It's my my love, my entire job, my love, my passion, the blending process, about the cigars, about the rums, about the spirits, about the wines, about the cocktails, because I make it. If you make a cocktail, you make a blending process.
Right. You're
Okay,
basically
you
blending. Yeah.
looking, yeah, you make you look in a final profile, a final flavor profile, and it's because I take a lot of certificates, and I working in the Cuban tobacco a lot of time. Actually, with Habanos S.A., I'm work with from marketing area to release new products from Cuba, and I learn about the Cuban tobacco. And I take the junior Habano sommelier, the senior Habano sommelier, the master Habano sommelier, but the paper no, just the paper. If you have a paper, it's not all. You need more information. You need take your food and put in the soil, and grow, take the plant for the first time in the morning, for the last time in the day, and walk, and asking for the farmers, and asking for the engineers from Cuba, from Nicaragua, from Mexico, about the soil, what the pH, what the acidity, what rainy season, what dry season, um, why you put this kind of seed in this kind of soil, another, and why you stop in the growing part in the soil, to give a rest for the growing, the soil, you know what time is perfect time to cut the plant, to cut the leaf, and put in the curing barn or not.
Right.
All about it. It's very important for me. And every time, every minute, every action in the seed, in the growing, in the all process counts in the result, in the final result, in the flavor profile al final. Is because when you cut the cigar, and when you light and smoke the cigar, I need to feel is the best cigar for this time. Okay, uh, it's very complicated, but it's very great to see the people when other cigar aficionados smoke my our cigars from Casa 1910, and I see the reaction. It's very great. I don't look at you make you good job, Manolo. Hey guys from 1910, you make good cigars. No, I need to see a good face, a good smiling. You close your eyes and feel the smoke. I need to see this kind of reaction.
Yeah. So, did anyone in your family prior to you, was anyone in your family in tobacco? Did anyone have a love of cigars before you? Are you kind of the first person in your family to kind of make a foray into this?
Mm. Well, about the tobacco business, I'm the first person in my family.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. So, how long do you typically take? I mean, obviously, you've been doing this for a little while now. How long does it take for you to come up with a blend that you're happy with? And I imagine different blends are going to take different amount of time because it's each blend is different. But how long does it take before you realize, okay, this is where I want to keep making this one. This one's got something.
Wow. Very great question. Thanks for that. Um, for example, our first cigar, the Cuchillo Parado, it's
Mm-hmm.
made with all Mexican tobaccos.
Right.
Filler and binder, Negro San Andres, with 5 years aged before we roll it. And the wrapper, it's a Mexican Sumatra wrapper with 3 years aged before we roll it. It's a medium strength cigar. and I made this cigar for the perfect pairing with the tequilas
Okay.
reposados and añejos. For example, the time cost cost me to make this kind of blend 7 years
Sure.
because it's my first cigar alone.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
but the other ones, the Tierra Blanca, the second blend, or the line of Nicaragua. Actually, I'm smoking right now the Lucero. It's a blend with
Hmm.
Nicaraguan tobaccos and Mexican tobaccos inside. I take for the base of the blend, maybe 2 to 3 weeks to make the final blend. Okay, the final blend it's what kind to say, because maybe I make some changes in the future
Sure.
after
Right.
that 3 weeks, because when I make the base for the blend, I make the filler, the proportions for the fillers. After that, I choose the binder, and after that, I choose the perfect shape for this kind of blend. Because for me, every blend expressed different in different shapes,
That's
and
yes.
and it's because I select or choose one kind of vitola, one kind of format for one
Right.
blend. For me, it's a perfect expression for this blend. Is because I choose the filler, I choose the binder, I choose the shape, and at the final, I choose the wrapper. The wrapper is very important because it's different. It's different in schools, but for
Sure.
example, in Cuba, maybe talk about the wrapper significates the 15 or 20% of the all the experience about the smoke for the cigar. No, but for
Right.
me and the other kind of school, maybe we talk about the 20, 35% of the all experience about the smoke, because it's not just the dress for the cigar.
Right.
It's flavor in your mouth.
Right.
It's a lot of aroma, and it's all different. If you have a very complex filler, maybe you need a medium complex wrapper. But if you have a very complex filler, and if you take a very complex wrapper, maybe it's a very great cigar, but it's too strong. It's because you need
Right.
to make a good balance between
Right.
strength, flavor profile, notes, sensations, and the aroma and the flavor in your mouth. Is It's very complex. And after when I have the final cigar, I need to make maybe 50 cigars to put in rest all the experiments, and maybe 10 I put inside the acrylic humidor, other 5 in Okume humidor, other ones in the cedar humidor, other ones in the Ziploc humidor, and maybe 3 I put over the table to dry, just for
Hmm.
fun, just for what
Sure.
happened if some cigar aficionado take a dry cigar. I need
Hmm.
to feel great with this cigar. Maybe it's not too bad if it dry my cigar. You know, I need to
Hmm.
think about the all different expressions for my side for the cigar. Maybe I put in the Ziploc bag in inside in the car to take the sun and a lot of humidity and try. Maybe I can
Hmm.
make a little changes to make better cigar to different um, weathers, to different situations.
Sure. So I think it's very interesting that you make it a point for each one of your blends because let's face it, there's a lot of cigars right now. I think it's a pretty standard practice right now where the company will have one blend and they'll have 5 or 6 different vitolas of the same blend, but they're all different. But everybody still calls it, pick a name, whatever the name of the cigar is. I like and I find it very unique that your blends are only expressed in one vitola because you found that to be the best expression of that particular blend. And I think that's something that a lot of people I don't think they fully grasp that very well. I think there's a lot of people who think, "Oh, I like this one particular cigar. I just wish it were longer." Well, what they're actually asking for is a completely different cigar. It's not really the same blend because if you were to make a robusto theoretically using the same blend, but you wanted to make it into a Churchill, you're changing the blend completely because you're not putting the same amount of the filler in a Churchill as you would in a Robusto.
Yes, actually, if I make, for example, the San Petrina, you're smoking
Mm-hmm.
the San Petrina,
I
and
am smoking the San
if I
Petrina
need
right
to
now.
make maybe a toro for San Petrina, I have the all blend for percentages.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe the Mexico represents the 20% of the filler. The oh, HBR from Dominican Republic, maybe the 40%. And for make a big cigar, I need to gross that percentage. Okay. But the
Right,
final, the result of the cigar, it's not the same for the Robusto. I need to make changes, and the persons changes in different in different shapes is because it's not the same blend at the final. It's not the same blend.
right, right. Yeah. So, where did you learn to blend cigars? Are you self-taught? Did someone had to have helped you along the way to kind of show you the basics of what you were doing? Was there any particular person, or was there a number of people?
Sorry, can you repeat me?
How did you learn to blend? Was there someone in particular who taught you, or did
Okay.
you just learn on your own?
Well, um, my first steps about the blending process, it's on actually it's on the tequila business, making
Right,
some blends with the spirits, with the neutral spirits and the different barrels, and it's very interesting. Make a blend like that, okay? But about the tobacco, it well with the tequila and the rum process, it's like the base for the knowledge for me, and and
sure,
my studies in the Cuban tobacco and the Scotch whiskey and other spirits, I put all the knowledge in the tobaccos, and I make some bridges in the knowledge about the spirits for the tobacco side. And my first steps in the tobacco blending, it's in Cuba actually, with the factories and with the apartment for the ligada, the barajita in the Cuban factories, to how make the cigars, how preserve the blends and the flavors for for all cigars. Maybe you can know the Coiba Robustos, and it's very important to make a preservation for the flavor profile, for the aroma profile, and it's very interesting because every year the flavor changes, the aroma change for the leaf.
yes,
it's like the grapes for the red wine. It's not equal the same
Right. Yeah.
label for the 2014 for the 2015. It's different. It's the same process in the
Yeah.
tobacco. It's not the same flavor. It's because every year in every campaign when we've growing the tobaccos, I need to taste in the pure grade, the grado puro. I take one leaf and I take the three, four, five puffs to make notes, and it's similar like the other production or not. And I need to make changes in the blending process. And in Cuba, I learned about that to make the preservation for the flavor profiles and the sensations of the tobacco. And for me, all about the tobacco process, the cigar process, the factory process, maybe the most important part for all is the fermentation.
Yep.
And it's because if you don't have good fermentation, you can have good cigars tomorrow. And in Cuba, I have a lot of opportunities to know better, to make a blend process, to make a good blending. Um, Maybe I don't looking for, hey, I need to this cigar, I need to make a flavor for eucalyptus, or hey, or dark cacao. No, 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 no. I need to look in at good sensations. No rush,
Right.
not too acidity, not too bitter, not too sweet. I need a balance, good flavor, good aroma, good sensation, and good raw. It's it's a good cigar. About the strength, well, if you need to make a very strong cigar, maybe you put more viso, more ligero. And if you need to make a medium or mild cigar, you need to low or nothing for ligero, for example. No,
Right.
maybe the best way to learn about the blending process, it's make a lot of shit cigars. It's make a lot of mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah. So your flagship cigar, Chio Paredo, it's probably one of the very few Mexican puros I've invented. Um, there's not a lot of them on the market. You work with a lot of Mexican tobaccos. What is it about Mexican tobacco that stands out to you?
Well, for our side, for Casa 1910, we need to expose how Mexico growing a good tobaccos, not just for binders, not just for grappers. We need to expose
Right.
how Mexico growing good tobaccos for the fillers. But
Yes.
um, in Mexico right now, maybe the 80% for the entire tobacco business in about the dark tobacco from premium cigars, maybe the 80%
Right.
for the entire industry, it's for the raw material. It's for sell the raw material, the rama.
Right.
Um, it's selling to Nicaragua, to Honduras, to Dominican Republic. When Serge, Jamie, and I sit and talk about the Mexican tobacco, the question around the table it's why Mexico it's no it's not recognized for good Mexican cigar production, just for good wrappers, good binders,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of good cigars make it good cigars with Dominican Republic tobaccos and Mexican tobaccos. for the filler, for the binder or the wrapper. But I don't see a lot of cigars with Mexican tobacco in the filler, or maybe
Right.
a Mexican
Right.
puro. And it is because
Right.
our flagship cigar and our flagship edition, the Revolutionary Edition, it's made with Cuchillo Parado and Tierra Blanca. It's made with all the Mexican tobaccos, uh, because we need to expose all Mexican flavor, all Mexican sensations, and all Mexican quality. Not just
Right.
a good Maduro wrapper, not just a good binder. Is Mexican tobacco, it's equal a good tobacco. Not matters if you use the Mexican tobacco in the filler, in the binder, or the wrapper. All it's very good. You you need to make a good fermentation, a good aging, and it's all for Mexican tobaccos.
So is what do you think Mexican tobacco has that other regions don't have? What is it that you think makes it special? I mean, obviously, Mexico has a rich history in tobacco growing, but you're right. Most of the tobacco that's grown in Mexico is almost exclusively used for binder and wrapper. Very little used in the filler. But Mexico, as a tobacco growing region, must have a unique flavor characteristic that others don't have.
Great. I love this question because for me for me no existe the best tobacco. Okay, maybe some people says, the Cuban tobacco is the best, the Nicaraguan tobacco is the best, the Mexican tobacco is the best. Not for me. Every country, actually, every farm and every stone has a different flavor profiles, and has
Right,
this kind of flavor profile make a unique tobaccos. For example, Nicaragua,
right.
mineral, volcanic, and peppers. Dominican
Mm-hmm.
Republic, I'm speak generally. You have a lot of nuts, a lot of sweetness, and an elegant profile. Maybe in
Sure.
Cuba you can find cedar wood, oaks, and a little bit nuts, and power, and a lot of flavor, body. Okay, but Mexico for me has a lot of toasted sensations, a little bit on bitter sensations, mineral and metallic sensations, and a good aroma. The aroma like a stable, like a
Mm,
outdoor sensations, and the fire in your camping. It's very special for me. You can find in the Mexican tobacco maybe cacao beans, coffee beans, and a little bit of herbs like a tea leaf, and it's very interesting. If you make a blend between Mexican tobacco and Nicaraguan tobacco, you take the strength and the peppers for the Nicaraguan tobacco, make a good blend with the Mexican tobacco, with the herbs and the toasted sensations, and it's very interesting, the results, the final results. It's very interesting. Or maybe if you take the Dominican Republic tobacco, the elegance for Dominican Republic and the strength and minerality for the Mexican tobacco, you make a good bridge between the DR to Mexico, and make a good result. um it's because
right.
Mexican tobacco, it's very special for me.
Yeah. And what I another thing I appreciate about 1910, every one of your blends has a very special story attached to it. And in your press release that you sent to me, you gave this wonderfully intriguing, almost like a history lesson about the Mexican Revolution, which I appreciate. I always appreciate cigars that go to the trouble of telling a story with each one of their blends. You certainly do that very, very well, and you're bringing something that might be common knowledge to someone who has Mexican heritage, but for the rest of the world probably are largely ignorant about the 1910 revolution. I love the stories that you have attached to all of your cigars. I'm going to ask you a tough question that you may not be able to answer right away, which I understand. But if you were to pick out of your lineup of cigars, is there a favorite? Do you have a favorite that you like, or is one that you find yourself coming back to more often than the other ones?
Well, at the same time, it's very complex question, and it's very simple because um,
Yes.
every cigars has for Casa 1910 for all blends. It's very special for me because every cigar for me, when I make a cigar, I need to make better cigar every time. Better cigar, better cigar, better cigar. Because when I question for all customers or all cigar aficionado, hey, what do you think the new line? Oh, it's very great. It's better than the other one. But the other kind of people says me, oh, it's different. It's different about the others tobaccos, the other cigars from Casa 1910. And this is a very interesting situation because every cigar it's different in front of the other one, actually in the same line. And for me depends the moment for
Sure.
for
Yes.
for smoking. If I take I
Right.
smoke my first smoke of the day, maybe I take the San Petrina or the Cuchillo Parado. Okay, but if I take a middle afternoon, I take the Lucero, for example, more elegant, uh, a lot of complexity in the cigar. But if I take a lot of time for smoke, maybe I take the Ligero, the Gordo for the line of Cabaret Edition, 6x60. A lot of
Yeah.
flavor, a lot of aroma, and I'm a bourbon lover. I am a bourbon lover,
Mm-hmm.
and the Jilguero it fits perfect with the bourbon. When I take a bourbon,
Yeah.
I take a Jilguero. Why not? But
Yeah.
depends the
Right.
moment. The moment is very important for me, um, because no, not the time of the day, not the spirit, the drink, or nothing. The moment says me, I need the Cuchillo Parado, I need the Tierra Blanca, I need the San Petrina. But if I need to say one cigar for each line, for Revolutionary Edition, I love the Cuchillo Parado. For the Cabre Edition, right now, the last month, I love more the As de Oro, but right now, I love more the Lucero. And
Okay.
the Soldadera Edition, my favorite right now is La Coronela, the Majestuoso, the 58 by 5.5 inches of length. It's my favorite cigar today. Maybe the next week I change
Yeah.
my opinion, but right now
Yeah.
it's
I'm
it's my
I
favorite.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
So I'm a bourbon lover myself. Bourbon is probably my spirit of choice, generally speaking. I love them all, but bourbons are one that I tend to go back to more often than not. Right now, I'm actually drinking Caribbean rum. With this particular cigar,
Okay.
it's a much better pairing than a bourbon would be. The bourbon would overpower this one for sure. What are some of your favorites you like right now?
Sorry.
What are some of your favorite bourbons right now?
Mm, right now, Well, first of all, I love Jack Daniels, not just for product. I love Jack Daniels about the history behind Jack Daniels. And right now, the Bonded, it's a very great bourbon and very cheap.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
Mixers, it's the beautiful, beautiful bourbon. And
Michter's is
Blantons,
fantastic.
yeah, and Blantons,
Sure.
of course. I love Blantons. But Willet, I love Willet and Whistlepig.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty solid lineup. I mean, not everyone's going to turn their nose up on those choices. Those are pretty good. Before I let you go, I don't want to take too much of your time. Can you talk to us about what's on the horizon for Casa 1910? What projects are you working on right now? Things in the future that you're looking to do for Casa 1910?
Yes, my pleasure. Well, right now, for the 23 and 24 of March, we have several events in Texas and California, and you can find us in Instagram for at Casa 1910 MX. You can see all
Hmm.
events in California and Texas. Actually, I'm going to take to California to the events in California. Maybe you can go and smoke together there. It's um very, very great for me to share all the smokes with you guys. I work a lot in the new blend for Casa 1910 right now. We need to make a lot of noise and share the new line for Soldadera, of course, the San Petrina, La Coronela, and Teniente Angela. It's a very, very great history behind one cigar um, for San Petrina, La Coronela, and Teniente Angela. And we need to share this kind of cigar with the people, made in Dominican Republic, in Tabacalera La Isla with Ostos Quesada. And it's an amazing cigars, very elegant cigars with the flavor from Mexico and the sensation of Mexico with the elegance from the art. But right now I'm working in the new release from PCA, and we show you guys the new limited edition. Actually, the first limited edition for Casa 1910, and we work in a very interesting collaboration with a other amazing master blender, and we make together the other master blender and I a very, very great blend with a very, very great vitola. You can find in the final part of the year, but you can see this cigar in PCA. Um, I'm working in the other two different cigars, and we released these cigars knowing the PCA in the Casa 1910 experience. Casa 1910 experience is a special event made with us, uh, made by us in Mexico City for 2 or 3 days in Mexico City to Friday to Sunday. Uh, Cocktail, Mexican music, Mexican food, Mexican cocktails, Mexican spirits, and a lot of cigars, of course. And if you come to Casa 1910 Experience, you can see the new releases for 2024, and we present two new cigars in the Casa 1910 experience and one limited edition for PCA. And you need to try the
Very
new
good. Well,
Soldadera
I
edition.
am very much. Well,
Sorry.
I am very much looking forward to this summer for PCA because I'm hoping to be there for PCA. So I'll make sure I stop by and say hello again. Uh, one more time, when is the Casa 1910 experience going to be held in Mexico City?
Okay. the kickoff for the Mexican Revolution, it was in the
Uh-huh.
20th of November for 1910.
Okay.
And every year since the 2021, we make a Casa 1910 experience in the 20th of November. Maybe in the is from the 18th to 20th, or depends the date, and or for the weekend. It's better for us, but 20th of
Right.
November is more easy.
Gotcha. Very good. Well, Manolo, it was a pleasure to sit with you and talk and have a cigar with you. Really, what you're doing. I love your blends. I've had 4 of them now, and they're all been very flavorful and very impressive and very well crafted, by the way. I have never had an erratic burn with any of your cigars at this point. So
Great.
kudos to whoever is rolling. They're doing a good job, and the quality control has obviously been on point. I look forward to smoking more Casa 1910 and seeing what Casa 9 has to bring to the world in the coming years. Anything you'd like to tell anyone else about Casa 1910 before we let you go?
Thank you so much for this time. Conoces, it's very great for me to share Casa 1910 for your audience, and it's better if you take guys our cigar and give me a feedback and talk about Casa 1910. I need to know what do you think about our cigars, and please be your guest in Casa 1910.
Yeah. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I will do an article after this interview is over. I contribute for cigarpublic.com, and I'll make sure I let you know when that comes out. I really enjoyed talking with you. You told me a lot of very interesting things, and I love your approach to blending, and I really have enjoyed things so far. So thank you very much for taking the time for us today.
Thank you.
Have a great week. And I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in for tonight's live stream interview. A big thanks again to Manolo Santiago for sitting down for this interview. As I always do, a live stream interview, I always do a giveaway with whoever I am featuring in the interview. Today it was Casa 1910. I will be giving away a 4-pack of Casa 1910 cigars. Everybody who has tuned in and given us a chat in the chat box today will be entered into that drawing, and I'll be making an announcement of who wins that drawing sometime later this. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. See you on the next one. Till then, smoke a good one.
Great.
Hello, great.
Thank you so much for your
Yeah,
time,
so
man.
I'm very happy to. I like to talk to people who are newer into the cigar world as far as their own brands. I love seeing these new companies come up, and yours is a very unique story. It's a very unique approach, and not a lot of people have the same um, approach to blending as you do.
No, thank you.